Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, I want to talk about a book that genuinely changed how I think about relationships, especially for men who are trying to navigate the complexities of love and marriage. We're diving deep into the five love languages for men by Gary Chapman. Now, why did I pick this one? Well, let's be honest, sometimes as guys, we think we're doing everything right in a relationship, but it just doesn't land with our partner, right? We're scratching our heads wondering, why am I missing? This book is like having a really wise, empathetic friend sit down with you and break down the secret code of your wife's heart. It's not about being a superhero or pulling off grand elaborate gestures all the time, though the book does share some hilarious and heartwarming stories about guys who go all out. The real kicker, Chapman says, is that unless those grand plans are made with your wife's primary love language in mind, they could have the same impact as a generic greeting card. At its core, this book introduces us to a super important idea. Everyone has a primary love language, a specific way of expressing and receiving love that truly resonates deep inside them and makes them feel spectacularly loved. Think of it like a unique emotional dialect, and Gary Chapman, the author, has brought it down to five fundamental languages. So what are these five love languages? They are 1. Words of affirmation, 2. Quality time, 3. Gift giving, 4. Acts of service, and 5. Physical touch. Chapman argues that for your wife, one of these is like an expressway to her heart, and if you try to speak the others, it might just sound like a foreign language to her. It's about hitting that sweet spot. What's really fascinating, and perhaps a bit frustrating, is that most people rarely marry partners who share their primary love language. It's like a language barrier is created right from the start, in the early, infatuated stages of a relationship. We might not even notice it because we're so eager to please, doing things out of character, but then the honeymoon phase wears off, and we settle into a routine, reverting to our native tongue of showing love. Take Patrick, for example. He told Chapman he'd been a real fool. His wife would come home from work, share her problems, and he, being a solutions-oriented guy, would immediately give advice. He'd get frustrated when she didn't take it. What he finally realized after she left him was that she didn't want advice, she wanted sympathy, attention, and understanding. She was pleading for quality conversation, and he was too busy trying to solve her problems to just listen and be with her emotionally. It's a common trap many of us fall into, thinking marriage is a project to be completed rather than a relationship to be nurtured. Now you might be wondering, how do I figure out my wife's love language? Chapman offers a few excellent clues. First, listen to what she complains about most often. Her criticisms, as irritating as they might seem, are often ineffective ways of pleading for love. If she says we never spent any time together, that's a huge hint that quality time might be her language. Second, what does she request most often from you? If she's always asking you to do chores or run errands, acts of service could be it. And third, how does she most often express love to others? We often give love in the way we wish to receive it. For men specifically, there's a common misconception. Many guys assume physical touch is their primary love language because they enjoy sex, but Chapman clarifies that sexual desire in males is physically based and isn't necessarily tied to their emotional love language. He asks, do you feel energized by non-sexual touches like hand-holding, back rubs, or affectionate caresses? If not, physical touch might not be your emotional love language. It's crucial to understand the difference between sexual desire and the emotional need to feel loved. The book stresses that learning a new love language is a choice, not a feeling. It's not always natural or comfortable at first, like perfecting a golf swing. If your wife's love language is acts of service, and you're typically an acts of service guy, you might not feel comfortable with quality time. Your initial efforts might feel forced, but with practice and the right attitude, you can master it. Chapman even shares how he, someone who hated vacuuming as a kid, now vacuums his house regularly purely out of love for his wife, whose language is acts of service. He says, when an action doesn't come naturally to you, it is a greater expression of love. Beyond learning the languages, the book introduces two new vital tools for making love flow freely: dealing with anger and crafting apologies. Anger, left unchecked, can completely disrupt a relationship. Chapman emphasizes that anger isn't a sin, it's a natural response to perceived unfairness or injustice. What matters is what we do with it. he outlines 6 keys to anger management. 1. Acknowledge the reality of anger. 2. Agree to acknowledge your anger to each other openly, not playing guess my mood. 3. Agree that verbal or physical explosions are never appropriate and are destructive. 4. Agree to seek an explanation before passing judgment because misunderstandings are common. 5. Agree to seek a resolution, which might involve admitting wrongdoing or brainstorming solutions. And 6. Agree to affirm your love for each other after the anger is resolved, signifying that the incident won't separate you. He'd even suggest carrying an index card that says, "I'm feeling angry right now, but don't worry, I'm not going to attack you, but I do need your help." Is this a good time to talk, to start these difficult conversations? Then there's the art of apologizing, which Chapman calls a go-to move for strengthening relationships and restoring intimacy. Just like love languages, there are 5 apology languages, and sincerity is key. But what constitutes sincerity differs for everyone. These are 1. Expressing regret, focusing on your actions and how they hurt your wife, starting with a sincere "I'm sorry." 2. Accepting responsibility, saying I was wrong and owning your mistakes, not shifting blame. 3. Making restitution, a desire to make up for what I've done. This is often expressed in your wife's primary love language, whether it's a specific act of service, a thoughtful gift, or quality time spent addressing the hurt. 4. Genuine repentance, showing an intent to change your behavior so the offense doesn't happen again. And 5. Requesting forgiveness, explicitly asking, "Will you please forgive me?" which shows you value the relationship and are willing to put its future in her hands. A powerful example from the book is Brent and Becky. Brent told his wife he no longer loved her and was leaving, devastating Becky, who felt they had worked hard for a common goal. Brent felt his love tank was empty, having been so for years, and had fallen in love with someone else, thinking he deserved happiness. Chapman explains that the in-love experience is temporary and instinctual, lasting usually 2 years or less, serving to temporarily meet our emotional need for love. True emotional love, however, is a conscious choice to continue speaking your spouse's love language, which keeps their love tank full long after the initial euphoria fades. After his new relationship crumbled, Brent returned for counseling, and through learning each other's primary love languages, their marriage was reborn, and both their love tanks became full. So what's the takeaway here? This book isn't just theory, it's a practical guide. It's a call to action. It teaches that love is a choice, an ongoing decision you make every day to understand and meet your spouse's deepest emotional needs. It's about being willing to step outside your comfort zone, to learn a new language for the sake of a thriving, intimate, and truly fulfilling relationship, even if your relationship has been stagnant for decades, as in the incredible story of the couple who hadn't taken a vacation together in 20 years but rediscovered love after reading the book. Love can be reborn. My biggest recommendation: read this book with an open heart and a willingness to try. It might sound simple, but the principles within can profoundly transform your marriage. It encourages you to be curious about your partner, to observe, to listen, and to act in ways that truly resonate with them. Because when you speak your wife's primary love language, you're not just performing an action, you're communicating unequivocally. You have value. I love you. You make a difference. And that, my friends, is how you build an extraordinary life together.